Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Aston Green from the MARTA Police Department, representing Chief Dunham and Mr. Parker, who is our General Manager. I'd first like to say that our hearts go out to all of the families that lost loved ones in Belgium today as a result of that horrific terrorist incident. We do want to take note that MARTA and other transit authorities throughout the nation at this point have not received any specific threat to our transit system. However, we do encourage all parties, citizens, persons using the transit systems to be aware of their environment. In MARTA in particular, we're asking patrons to download the MARTA See&Say app and report any suspicious activity. In addition to that, we've taken several steps to make sure that we are being as vigilant as possible. That includes more patrols of our officers throughout our system. Our K-9 unit is deployed. We've engaged federal and state partners. It's okay, it happens, right? As I was saying, we are in communication with our federal and state partners, which includes the Joint Terrorism Task Force, to stay as aware as we possibly can in terms of intelligence that might inform us on the best practices we can take. Some of the measures we're taking are security related, so I can't reveal them obviously, but just know that we are seriously engaged in making sure that we're doing everything possible to ensure the safety of our riding public.
Can you just reiterate the steps that you are taking here?
Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, some of the bus.
Part of the job.
Okay, yeah. So. And a train. Okay, as I was saying, some of the key steps that we take almost on a continuing basis includes increased patrol of our officers at our stations and on the trains. In addition to that, we have our K-9 units deployed throughout the system. Those are our MARTA K-9 dogs. You'll see them on a regular basis throughout the system. In addition to that, we've made announcements to our employees. We've sent out intelligence bulletins to all staff to report anything out of the ordinary. So we take a vigilant posture. We want to make sure that we can capture anything before it happens. And so that's going to be the posture that we have for the remainder of the weekend. And if it changes, we'll be able to advise accordingly.
So are there more officers on duty right now than, say, typically at this time during the day?
Not more officers. We tend to have a full deployment of officers on a daily basis. We just move them around accordingly. So at this point, you'll see more of them actually in the stations and on trains.
What about plainclothes?
We always have plainclothes, particularly on our MARTA system, yes.
And how many are we talking about total?
I can't give that information, I'm sorry.
You say
Yes.
we'll see more of them moving around as opposed to what we usually see when they weren't on patrol?
We may have them deployed at parking lots. We may have them deployed in administrative capacities. We're just kind of beefing up our presence, and we're doing that consistent with what other transit agencies are doing around the country. In fact, we had a conference call earlier this morning in which that was one of the recommendations coming from TSA. And so we're acting in concert with sort of the general law enforcement community, just a show of presence, just to be there with the population in case we see anything out of the ordinary ourselves. We're right there to respond. But
What role can the public play?
yeah, the most
People are afraid to get
yes,
involved.
the most important thing that I could advise for the public is to download the MARTA See&Say app. That is a cardinal tool, if you will, in our ability to prevent something from happening. It is a mainstay of the See&Say program coming from the Department of Homeland Security. This is your opportunity. You can download the app. If you see something, you can discreetly take a picture. There's someone in our MARTA Police Communication Center waiting to communicate with you, so don't be afraid. You can do it discreetly. It works on the train, it works on our buses, and if all else fails, just call 911.
Did you learn anything at the MARTA trains or on MARTA trains?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is there a greater law enforcement presence where the trains are as opposed to buses? Is one greater than the other?
Well, we protect our entire transit system. So wherever we have population, that's going to be an area of concern for us. And so we target areas, yes, that is security related information, but we definitely deploy according to a strategy.
Is there anything specific going on at the train station at our airport based on what happened in Toronto?
Only that you have an increased presence, right? That's about it, right? So you'll see more attention being paid to those areas of sensitivity. Obviously the airport station, and other stations that attract large populations.
You mentioned about that phone call today. Do you have plans to be checking in on on an ongoing basis for the next
That normally happens. Yeah, we take a comprehensive security approach, so being able to communicate with our federal partners, with our state representatives, local emergency management agencies, with the airport, we're in regular communication with them. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. We meet with them regularly. So this particular call was in reference to just being aware of all the incidents that occurred in Belgium. So that everyone is operating with the same information. And at that point, you know, we all pretty much enact some of the best practices, right? Same best practices, deploy officers, you know, be aware of the situation. But the main thing that's been communicated from our federal partners is to tell citizens that if you see something, say something. We can't overemphasize how important that is. Your ability to communicate what might be your version of intelligence for the public, right, is going to help us to be able to investigate something very quickly.
Did you say that there was no threat against any transit agency? Did I hear you say that?
That's true. In the United States, right now, there is no directed threat to any particular public transportation infrastructure.
Did the Belgian attack suggest any particular vulnerability to American transit systems?
Well, as I said, we have no threat to the homeland. That's what's been communicated to us.
The manner in which this happened.
There is some intelligence that's being gathered. Obviously, there's going to be an investigation that I'm sure our intelligence departments and agencies will be a part of. And anything that we can glean from that can help us with our counterterrorism efforts, we'll definitely incorporate that into our strategy.
How many canines?
16. Nothing else?
Any other public messaging efforts in terms of, we did notice any messaging on Twitter today, or are you going to be getting out anything?
Yeah, we'll be updating our website to actually give a link to our See and Say app, and then also to encourage people to, again, if you see something, say something. Yes, that will be updated on our website.
How popular is the See and Say app right now? How many users?
We have over approximately 20,000. We have approximately 20,000 users that have downloaded the app. And what's interesting about the app, and it's an important note, is that we'll be sending reverse messages. So we'll be sending a note or an alert out to all of those app users saying, look, if you see something, say something. Just to kind of give you a gentle nudge that we want you to be an astute passenger while you're on the transit system here at MARTA.